Hi there, this is another video in my series of learning to jam using pentatonic scales. If you have some guitar picking buddies that enjoy jamming the blues, you'll want to be able to jam the blues in the key of E. This video is designed to help you do just that. If you've played a G major pentatonic scale before, you already know how to play the E blues pentatonic scale. Here's the G scale. We'll simply start on E and end on E to turn it into E blues. This works because E is the relative minor, and in jamming the blues you use a lot of minor pentatonic sounds even against the major chords. So your first idea is to just develop some licks from noodling around. So you can just play up the scale. Play it with a little bit of a shuffle. Eventually you'll want to kind of skip and bounce around notes instead of always just going low to high. Another tip is to purposely begin high and work your way down lower. When you're first learning to do this, it's safest to have your ideas kind of run between the E notes. Second fret on the third string, open first string. So you can be playing other notes, but when you come to the conclusion of one of your ideas, kind of try to find an E note. When playing in a shuffle like you often do in blues, it's cool to add in some hammer-ons, even some pull-offs and slides. In that last lick I just played, I went. So I was hammering from my first finger to my third finger on the two notes in the scale on string 3. So that lick also introduces the idea of the triplet, which is very common in blues playing. And that's because during the shuffle you have this bump, 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 bump going on that nicely fits with 1, 2, 3, da, 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 da. And sometimes you even hear people just pounding triplets. So we began with just a single octave of the scale. You'll also want to know the notes below string 3, the notes on string 4, and more notes up on string 1. So this pattern begins on the open 4th string, so all the strings had 2 notes each until you get to this final string. You can actually add a extra fretted note there. 3 fretted notes, 2 fretted notes open, 2 fretted notes open. So you have all the open strings plus the fretted notes. You can hear how that E note is the root of everything, but there are notes below the root and notes above it. Blues phrases often begin and end on the and of the beat. In the very opening solo I played a lick that went like this. And the counting on that is 1, 2, 3, and triplet 1 and. All these ideas so far are jamming against an E7 chord. So we now will present a backing track. I'll be noodling for a little while, then I'll drop out and switch to rhythm, and it's your turn to join in noodling. The next concept we'll introduce is the idea of sliding into the unison. By unison we mean playing two of the same note. Here's the note E at the 7th fret on the 2nd string. Here it is as an open 1st string. So sliding from fret 5 on the 2nd string is often combined with the open 1st string as a drone. So when jamming more than just an E chord in the key of E, you usually are going to see A and B chords. So you could take that same lick and just move it over one string. Frets 5 to 7 on string 3 will give you a unison of an A note. So you could be jamming E when the A chord comes in, slide into it. When first learning to fit licks over the A and the B chords, it's a good idea to find the root of each of those chords, such as the A note, and just continue noodling in that same E blues scale. And when you go to the B, same thing. Another concept to be aware of is what I call target notes, and that is when you're changing chords to try to target the root of the chord you're changing to. So you've been noodling an E, it's time for A, try to get to that A root. Just makes things sound a little more coherent. So here's a 12-bar blues backing track. I'll play a solo first, we'll keep the rhythm going, and then you take a stab at it. You got it. Up to now we've been playing down in the first position with open strings. If you know this G movable pentatonic major scale, makes sense that we could turn that into an E blues pentatonic. Here's your E note, the 9th fret on the 4th string. Play all the same notes. And you even have this one extra fret 7 coming back up to fret 9. So with the idea of target notes in this position, you have your two E's right here, fret 9, fret 5 on string 2. Your two A's are fret 7 on string 3, fret 5 on string 1, and move both those notes up 2 frets to frets 9 and 7. 9 on string 3 and 7 on string 1 for your B target note. Many blues songs begin with what's known as a turnaround, a simple little 2-measure phrase. In this case, ending on the note B, as there will be a B7 chord behind that. That sets up the expectation that you're turning around and going back to the beginning of the progression, which is E. One last idea when jamming E blues is to remind those that you're jamming with that you are a mandolin player, and you can easily do that by throwing in some tremolo. So be jamming along. Comes time for your chord change. Target your A notes, slide in. Give it a little bit of tremolo. This chord progression that you're looking at right here is known as a cut blues because it cuts right away to the 4 chord or the A7 chord. And then you'll notice too in the last line there is a different chord each measure, with it ending on the B7 the first time through, as that's the turnaround chord. When you want to finish the progression, you skip the turnaround chord and just go straight to final E chord. So we'll next give you one last backing track, again with me playing the first solo, leaving it empty for you to play the second solo. Before going there, if you don't mind, take a second to subscribe. That way you'll be informed each time I add a new video to this pentatonic jamming series. So jam away.